Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon. I know we typically host these once a week on Thursdays. This week we happen to have a doubleheader. The reason why we're trying to get in a bunch of great trainings, webinars, all the above before year end, so everybody has their plans in place and you know exactly what to do coming out of January 1st for 2024. So, very important stuff. We huddle up, as you know, every Monday morning and we have our marketing meetings, of course, and then we always talk about what are the next webinars, what are agents talking about, what are some of the new carriers, VPs, products, all the above, and then we put everything together, lay it out on a plan, and basically talk about the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and number one, we have to make sure our agents walk away with nuggets they can use in their everyday practice, right? And we don't want to bore you to death for an hour. We don't want to talk about very similar companies each week, right? We need a new story to tell so you can go out and share these stories to your prospects, your consumers, to make more sales and help more families. So that's the name of the game. And that leads me to my first slide here, which is the topic of the day, which is disability income insurance, right? We all know what DI is. And the reason why we wanted to have this 45, 50-minute presentation is because we realize out of 23,000 agents that are in our downline that work with Levinson and Associates over the years, some are very experienced in the DI space, some are not. Some have never even written an application before. So the bottom line is we wanted to have a little bit of something today for everyone, which I think we nailed that with this presentation that you're about to witness. Um, for those of you that have not written disability, you don't even bring it up, okay? Because it feels like it's very foreign, like a different language, and you'd rather just refer it out to your friend who's an agent that handles disability income. Okay, well, after today's webinar, you are going to be so comfortable, you're going to know enough to be dangerous where you could bring this up. Okay, and if you're already selling it, we're going to give you some great new ideas, sales strategies, concepts, okay, some product info, everything you need to make more DI sales for the new year, especially. Okay, this should be part of your model going into 2024, period. Okay, and again, your prospects, right? I don't care if you're selling final expense, if you're selling term insurance out of your third bedroom, or you're focused on the large estate planning sale that's 220,000 of annual premium. Doesn't make a difference. Everyone needs disability protection. Okay, what happens if the breadwinner gets disabled? Okay, it's common sense. Hello, the paycheck stops, the salary stops. How does the life insurance premium get paid if the breadwinner can't go to work? Okay, very simple concept, but you have to bring it up. Okay, and we are laying it out there for you. An entire A to Z platform. All you have to do is bring it up and start marketing this as soon as this afternoon. So, what we did is we handpicked one of our top disability income carriers, which is Illinois Mutual, who's got a excellent platform, impaired risk, non-med coverage, e-application, everything that we love. And Jeff, who's our VP, is going to present today. And not only is he going to do a little product dive, but he's also going to go into what's new, what's hot, what's selling, some of the new strategies. So he's going to give you everything you need to know, and so are we at Levinson. So let's jump right in. What we're going to do is at the end, we're going to ask our question of the day, and whoever answers first and correctly wins the new Amazon Fire tablet. I also have two IUL prospecting books that I'm going to package in for the winner. So make sure you're on until the end, and make sure you're paying attention, writing down notes, use that Q&A pane. Okay, you can expand it or minimize it, but start firing away comments, questions, feedback, good, bad, and different. We want to hear from every one of you. That's why We create these things every week, okay? If someone's complaining about, hey, they don't like the audio, there's too much static, or they want to see our picture on video or whatever, we're going to make the changes for you, okay? So please, we want to hear from you. Let's jump right in. What I want to do first is talk about the biggest event of the year for 2024 is the Levinson Expo. We are back, bigger, better than ever is my promise to you every year. And I think we have done exactly that, even in the middle of COVID a few years back. Okay, we're constantly growing the attendance with everything that's been going on the last 5 years, let's say. We only missed 1 year's expo. Okay, that's huge. And it says a lot about us, our agents, our carriers, our sponsors. So make sure you are here. This is the first year in a long time where we're pretty much out of all the bad, the gray that we went through the last few years. So this is going to be big. Okay, the room holds 300, and we should be very close. So you have to get in those RSVPs ASAP. It's April 12th. If you want to write that down, April 12th. And then we do a dinner the night before for all of our out-of-town agents. And then here's the best part on the bottom, right? And by the way, see that screenshot there, that picture? That is from the balcony, from the actual hotel in South Florida on the sand. Okay, so that's where the event is. Starting at $30,000, we pay for one free night at our beachfront resort, and then all the way to $60,000 to $70,000, we pay for round trip airfare up to 2 free nights at the beachfront resort. Or you're brand new with us, haven't even written an app yet, it's free for you too. Okay, we take care of breakfast, lunch, snacks in the middle, and you're going to walk away with a ton of nuggets in the life, annuity, and supplemental product space, period. I promise you that. Okay, we're going to have a great agent roundtable discussion. We're going to have a keynote presentation that will knock your socks off. I feel like every year we've made this better and better and better. Okay, let's keep moving forward. I'm very, very proud of this. It means a lot to me and our entire team, our family here at Levinson, and we wouldn't be able to do all of this if it wasn't for you, for our agents writing business with us, which we don't take for granted, by the way. Okay, every single application, even if it's declined, even if it's $7 a month, it doesn't matter. Every application means the world to us and makes our day from every single one of you. Okay, and that's why we're able to do things like this 11 years in a row, where Levinson is the silver sponsor for the Toys for Tots Toy Rally. Okay, we just had it last Saturday, and we raised over $100,000. We helped raise over $100,000, and we donated about $1,000 to $1,500 worth of toys for underprivileged children around the country. So very proud of this. And again, if it wasn't for you all, if it wasn't for our employees, this would all never be possible. And every year we try to make this donation and the toy donation bigger, bigger, and bigger, which we've done. So again, happy holidays. And this is our way of giving back. And I feel like we must do this every Thanksgiving for Feeding America. We just donated 1,000 meals. Every October for my birthday, we donate to the Breast Cancer Awareness Fund through the American Cancer Society. And then, of course, Toys for Tots every Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, every single year. So please know that I believe in this. I know you all believe in this, and it's very close to our heart. And again, we want to make this bigger and better, just like everything else that we stand for here at Levinson and Associates. Let's keep moving forward. The next slide here is proof in the pudding, showing you that we change, okay? We innovate. We know that you can't rest on your laurels and think, oh, we have 23,000 agents, we're doing great. No, okay? If you don't change, if you don't pivot, if you don't innovate your company, your model, you're going backwards. There's no neutral. There's no stagnant, okay? You're either growing or you're diving, period. So we had to change, okay? That's exactly what we did with our life and annuity leader. So every other week we send this out, hits your inbox, and what we do here is we have over 90 carriers. So we take all of the latest and greatest from each carrier, okay, all the product info, Maybe there's a hot product, maybe not, maybe discontinued, whatever it is, but you need to know as an agent that you're in this business, you're focusing on making sales and opening doors. We need to focus on supporting and servicing our agents, our field force. And that's what this is. This saves you from having to go to 92 different websites every other week. No, everything is in one image. You scroll down, you click, and everything is there, updated in real time fashion. Okay? It's very important. So keep your eyes peeled for the Levinson Life and Annuity Leader. We just had one go out this week. So if you didn't get it, let us know. We'll get you on the mailing list. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, speaking of new carriers, speaking of new products in the Levinson Life and Annuity Leaderboard, we have a brand new carrier, new product from Citizens Life that we're launching early January. So we have guaranteed issue going down to age 0, okay, and some other niche products that come along with the IMO contract. We're also in conversations with Citizens. Actually, I can't even tell you this right now, but there's something huge that's going on behind the scenes. So it looks like it's going to happen come Q1 of 2024. Let's keep going. So real fast, I got a couple more slides, and then Jeff is going to take the wheel. And by the way, I know I started 5 minutes late. I apologize. We had some technical issues with the GoToWebinar software. So we're going to make sure we get you up before the hour is up. And hopefully you're the winner today in the giveaway. All right, so real fast, what we wanted to do, we have, by the way, a bunch of agents that have already qualified for this contest. It's so easy, okay? So on Insure Me Now Direct, now it's a different world. Talk about pivoting, right? You talk about change for the better and leveraging the latest technology. We've done exactly that with Insure Me Now Direct. We now have over 5 carriers, including the most competitive Banner Life term product that's on the platform, up to $2 million. Okay, plus Manhattan Life just joined the platform as well. So very, very simple process. You can sell. Think of this for a minute. Think of Amazon. Okay, that's Insure Me Now Direct in a nutshell. The difference is you are still agent of record. You still get agent commissions plus renewals on most products. And when you look at this, don't just think, oh, this is if my client logs in to my website at 4 a.m. and they run a quote and buy a product. Yes, of course, that's part of it. But the other part is you can do this on the phone with a client. You can meet someone at the local supermarket tonight, okay, while you're in line because you have your free scholarship pin on and someone starts conversation about life insurance and you say, oh, do you have your smartphone? Oh, yeah. Well, you want a quote? I can show you how to run it. And they say, yeah, $1 million, 20-year term policy, $23 a month. I want to sign up. This is great. Okay, just hit click to proceed. App comes up. They fill it out, less than 10 minutes. They just got an instant decision, and the policy gets emailed or mailed to the consumer. You just made a new sale. Okay, so again, yes, if the consumer logs into your site at 4 a.m., they can literally buy themselves a policy. You just made a sale. Option 2, smartphone, tablet, okay, face to face, over the phone, no problem. Option 3, Zoom, GoToWebinar, just like this, do the same exact thing. And now you can sell most competitive products and our most competitive carriers on the platform for free, okay? No charge, no nothing. In fact, we have Beth. She is your go-to in the office, and she'll make sure that you're all set up and you have all the marketing resources that you could dream about to start driving traffic. So this is a no-brainer, especially if you're trying to build a hierarchy and bringing agents over to your company, to your business model. Okay, no-brainer, because no one else has this, period. Okay, let's keep moving. Real fast, what I want to talk about, annuity contest, right-hand side. Now, this also includes MIGAs and FIA premium. So make sure you take advantage of this. We're launching at January 1. Start getting these apps in place. And on the left side, as long as you write your first application on the platform, $100 gift card, plus your commissions and renewals on most products. It's so easy, okay? I mean, you got to remember, one sale plus the $100, that's $800 to $1,000 on a simple supplemental product or life insurance sale, okay, in less than 11 minutes. So this is all easy stuff. And by the way, we're thinking like one-on-one, agent consumer. We just brought on one of the biggest P&C agencies in the country, 215 locations. Insure Me Now Direct is their life insurance arm. That's their life insurance department. So they're marketing their platform to all of their P&C consumers across the country. Turnkey. They don't need to hire 15 people to run it. It's a platform. They're up and running in 15, 20 minutes, okay, with their logo, their colors, their phone number. It's so simple. So start thinking big. The opportunities are endless. Let's keep going. So we have 11 core DI carriers here at Levinson and Associates. The reason why we have 11 is because each one kind of has their own niche in the space. What you are going to notice is Illinois Mutual is number one in the impaired risk column and the blue collar DI column, okay? And they're also our host on today's webinar, okay? And we did that for a reason. So when it comes to white collar, as you can see, we have a list of great companies we have direct IMO contracts with, and then moving all the way over to the right side, that's Insure Me Now Direct. Once again, we have Assurity and SureBridge on the platform. We also have straight up guaranteed issue DI, okay, which is unheard of. And we have a graded product as well, okay? So again, when it comes to impaired risk, when it comes to blue collar, I would go to Illinois Mutual first, okay? Call any one of our marketers. We'll run a quote for you. And in fact, they have non-med to $10,000 a month. So it's very simple with an e-application as well. So I'll let Jeff talk more about that. But anyway, great stuff to come. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is our featured company of the day, which is Illinois Mutual. And what I'm going to say before I turn the wheel over to Jeff is when you think about a carrier, okay, I don't know how long you've been in the business. I know we have agents that are literally 18 years old to in their 90s, okay? And if you think back, if you've been in the business over, say, 10, 15 years, you remember when some of these Midwestern type companies, these insurance carriers, right, would actually pick up the phone and you can actually talk to an underwriter and the carrier VP would jump on a call with you, okay, and help you through a tough situation, or maybe if you're challenging an approval, whatever it is, okay? Illinois Mutual is still like that today in 2023 going into 2024. For me, that says everything. Okay, that's a huge deal. Obviously, we're here to help, okay, but to know that once you're contracted under Levinson, you have full access. And yes, they have the new school technology and products and platforms, but that old school service model, okay, it means the world. And you know that. I don't have to say it anymore. Without further ado, Jeff Wilson, are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Hold on one second. I think he's muted. Give us just 1 second.
You there?
Hey,
Jeff,
Jeff, you're not muted. You just got to raise your volume, Jeff. You are unmuted.
I am here. Can you hear me?
For some reason, it's very low.
How about now?
Yep, it's a little better now. Yes.
I have my face laying on my keyboard. If you could let me share my screen, that would be great.
Yep, we are doing that right now.
All right. Okay. And can you see that, my screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
All right,
Perfect.
fantastic. Thank you, Bill. That was a great introduction. I always enjoy listening to everything that you guys have in a wrapper for your agents. They're lucky to be with you. So that was fantastic. But yeah, we being a Midwestern company, we do value our relationships, not only with our distribution partners, but down to the clients as well. So feel free anytime to kick the tires, give me a call. Call the home office if you have cases in-house or you want to talk to an underwriter. They'll be more than happy to assist in any way they can. But what I'm going to do today is do a kind of a quick refresher of where we fit in the DI world, and then share with you a few sales ideas that hopefully, like Bill said, you could take away and put into your practice immediately. And then we can go from there. So if there's any questions and you want to jot those down, we can certainly get to those later. But one thing that I just kind of want to make sure we're all on the same page here is most people kind of sort of know what DI is, but you would be surprised how many people would not know the answer to this question. If you're doing fact finding or just chatting with a prospect or client, great question to ask. Hey, tell me what you think is your most valuable asset, and see what they come up with. Most will probably say their home, I'm guessing. We hope they don't say car or motorcycle or something like that. But if we really think about it, our ability to earn an income goes without saying. It is a very valuable asset. Now, I like to think of things in pictures. It helps me grasp things a little bit better, but we've got a marketing piece that has the standard display. Remember the old Maslow's hierarchy of need way back when we were in school? It was the food groups, right? So we've created something very similar that really focuses on the financial world. And we all like to get down in the weeds. And if you are a holistic planner and you touch the needs on all of these things here, do not forget that I always think, and if you really kind of drill it down, it will make sense. You need a good, solid foundational or financial foundation. And you cannot argue with life insurance and disability income as creating that foundation. Just in case something catastrophic happens, then you're covered on both sides of the coin, right? You pass away, there's money there to do what you need to do with that from an estate planning standpoint. But what if the client becomes disabled and is out of work for an extended period of time? You know, I'm sorry, but as far as I know, in the creditors and companies I deal with, they still send you bills every single month. So what does a DI do? DI covers situations where the person cannot earn an income for an extended period of time. Now, here's one thing that I hear a lot, and I get it. They can sometimes only handle so much, right? When you're doing some analysis and evaluation and recommendations. But think about this: about every 7 seconds, a working American suffers a disability that will last at least 1 month. Now, that's a little staggering if you think about it, but the whole point of that is don't wait. Always finding a reason to talk to your prospects and clients about protecting their paycheck, and then see where the conversation leads from there. I promise I'm not going to kill you with a bunch of stats, but some are pretty relevant aha points to me. We don't even realize or think about the added expense that you may incur if you're disabled. We don't think about that, right? But this is a really relevant study here by several universities up my way in North Carolina, across the border here, that if a household has one adult with a disability, then there's 28% more income that they'll need, or an additional $18,000 to attain the same standard of living as a similar household without that. That really doesn't make sense, does it? But if you really think about it, yes, it does. It added expenses to take care of that person maybe that's disabled. So if someone says, I'll wait, or we have one income, we'll be fine on that, I would challenge them in that that's great that you have another source of income, but your expenses could possibly go up almost 30% if someone becomes disabled. So I found that very relevant. And this is another one that is as well. About 70% of households that responded to a survey said they would have difficulty if their next paycheck were delayed by a week. That's scary in itself. And to really compound things here, 48% of U.S. families do not save any money. And I know Americans, we're horrible at saving money and putting money away for a rainy day, burying it out in the backyard. So just be aware of that. If someone gets in trouble, the they're not in a good position. So things could really happen to them. So at least have these couple of stats in the back of your mind to help convince or to have that discussion. Bill mentioned that we're blue collar. Yes, the DNA of Illinois Mutual is blue collar. We've been doing it for over 110 years, and we underwrite a lot of occupations that would fall within that category. I thought I would give you a snapshot of kind of a range of where our policy owners sit, because I get that question quite often. Hey, who buys what and for how much? Okay, so our book of business, DI book of business, 85% of the policy owners have an income range between $30,000 and $150,000. Okay, that could be single income earner or dual, like a family. Okay, so and $150,000 is a good chunk of change, and that's a wide range there from between 30 and 150. And about 70% of our policy owners own these types of benefits between $1,500 and $5,000 a month in benefit. Now, Bill mentioned we'll go up to $10,000 a month. Yeah, absolutely. We'll write those all day long. But when it comes down to it, in the blue collar, middle gray working American space, we find that people will gravitate to what they can afford a lot more than if you were working with a doctor that makes $2 million a year. Okay, so keep that in mind. I love our products because I think they're very much built around budgetary concerns and needs, and that's critical in the blue collar space. I will say we do push into the white collar space, but there again, we will not be that carrier that you want to come to for the doctor that makes a couple $1 million a year. There's plenty of carriers out there. I saw them on the list that will help you there. But a rural doctor, dentist, chiropractor that does not make that type of money, we have some pretty darn good solutions. And I would ask that don't discount us just because their collar is, according to an occupation, is white. Very quickly, what do we have in our toolbox? For your toolbox, we have 2 DI products. One covers individual income, whether it's a W-2 or 1099, does not matter. And then the other is a really great little product for small business owners. It covers expenses, so a business overhead DI policy. We're still underwriting the owner of that business, but the benefit is there to cover critical expenses that business owner incurs on a reoccurring basis. Great concept, great product, and a really good conversation to have if you work in the small business arena. I mentioned earlier, we're pretty much budget based when we come to our product design. The budget the budget friendly type products is based off of a really core product that does not have baked in riders and other expenses. Okay, so it is what I call a la carte. The base is the base, and it's great for a lot of situations. However, we're highly customizable, and we have up to 12 riders, depending on what state you're in, that you can really dial in what the customer needs, wants, and can afford. Again, keep budget in mind here. And with that business overhead expense policy, we are the only carrier in the industry that you can put our number one sold rider, and that's a return of premium. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute or two. If you're kind of fairly new to the DI world, don't confuse individual private DI with things like workman's comp, okay? Because it's not. Workman's comp typically will only cover something that happens on the job. These are individual portable DI policies that your customers will have. They put it in their back pocket and carry it with them 24/7. So more comprehensive coverage. And Bill did mention our streamlined underwriting program, where we try to make it as easy as possible, the whole process from app to getting the policy delivered, where we try to limit what we ask for from an underwriting standpoint. And we find that's where a lot of the DI solutions come from within this streamlined underwriting program. For example, $5,000 of benefit or less falls into this streamlined program. So what we try to do is make a decision based on the application, not automatically reach out to order APSs or schedule exams or things along that line. So it's a great way to shortcut the process. And we find that the turnaround time, if the apps are clean, can be done in 48 hours. So you'll have an answer and a solution as quickly as we can possibly get them to you. Again, just a reminder, we do go up to $10,000 a month in coverage. Okay, so we will push up pretty high on that. What I thought I would do here for the next couple of slides is just share with you some areas you might want to start thinking about when you're prospecting for DI. One is a lot of our relationships or agents have a lot of success by reaching out to what they people they already know, or they already insure for maybe another product. So, for example, if your base business operation is PNC, great opportunity to reach out to those small business owners that fit the profile for a DI and talk to them about maybe business overhead expense. Okay, they'll typically open any correspondence from you. So I know everybody's the same. We get a million emails, we just delete, or ads or whatever it is. But if I see something, and you're probably the same, from someone I know or a brand that I know, for example, if I'm an Allstate client, if I see something come through from Allstate, I'm going to look at it. And that also applies to snail mail that you get every day. Increased stickiness. You'll totally understand this. The more products, solutions you have with a customer, the less likelihood they're going to leave you for somebody else or for $5 cheaper somewhere else. And we've got some pretty cool stats on that. So don't ignore your current client base, please. That's a great way to not only maybe increase the coverage that you have with them, maybe it's a new solution like DI, and also they'll stick around with you longer. And don't forget referrals as well. So next thing, W-2 employees. This is interesting because if you run across or you're working with someone who's a W-2 employee, let's just say for a brand name, I don't know, Bill mentioned Amazon. It's probably not a good example, but we'll use it. Everybody knows Amazon. And you're doing some planning for that employee of Amazon. Don't just naturally assume that they have adequate disability coverage embedded in their employee benefits package. You don't know that, and chances are they don't know that either. So a great lead-in question is, tell me a little bit about your paycheck protection plan within your employee benefits package. I seriously doubt 9 out of 10 of them would know what you're talking about. So then the next step would be, okay, let's look at your benefits package, your employee benefits package. And everything's online these days. So back in the day, you would get a 3-ring binder and it had 100 pages of HR stuff, which included employee benefits. That's no longer the case. Everything's online. They can pull it up. But the disconnect is certainly there, okay, within the employees. So don't discount, in my opinion, do not discount employees that work for a brand name company and they're a W-2. Those are excellent people to talk to about financial planning, which includes disability insurance. Third one, I already touched base a little bit on this. Small business owners. Overhead expense coverage is designed to cover reoccurring expenses that business owner wants to make sure he has money for, or she has money for, if they cannot come to the office the next day. Great example. I probably mentioned this before. Live case that I was involved in for an agent down in Hilton Head. And it was an attorney that he was one of these attorneys that everybody knows these guys. They graduate law school, they go to work in the big firm downtown, work 100 hours a week, then they get tired of that and realize they can do it on their own and double their income. So they quit, they moved to, in this case, the guy moved to Hilton Head, rented a old antebellum home, refurbished it, hung a shingle out, now he's in business. Okay. The agent was good enough to get in front of this attorney and discuss a lot of different things. And that attorney zeroed in on business overhead expense. So I got on the phone with that attorney and with the agent, and we walked through it. So what we did is we identified several expenses that the owner / attorney wanted to make sure we could cover in case he couldn't come to work the next day. Employee salaries were one of them. He had 2 staff. Okay, the rent or lease that he had on that building, and then a few other basic things like phone and utilities and stuff like that. So that was a really, really good case and fit right within the profile of what a BOE, business overhead expense, is for. And I mentioned it earlier. Oh, we're the only carrier that has return of premium on our business overhead expense policy. Another area, if you work with women, professional women or women in general, that is a great space to talk to them about disability insurance. And, as we know, the women in the workforce are outpacing the men greatly. And that's fantastic. But no one is really talking to them or reaching out to them about making sure that their financial plan, their foundation is solid. So you have a great opportunity there. And associations would be another fantastic way to get in front of working women. I did a live webinar for a group of nurses in Raleigh, North Carolina last month. And there were 25 people on, and they were all nurses that belong to this one association. And we talked about DI. So just food for thought there. Okay. At the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road is what is it going to cost my client, and can they afford it comfortably? This is a very similar case that we see all the time. You can switch out Ryan for Sally, accountant for plumber, whatever it is. But this is the style and the type and the numbers we typically see. Ryan's 35, he makes 80 grand a year. He does not have any type of DI with the firm that he works with. It's a small accounting firm. So I ran our shortest elimination period of 30 days in a 2-year benefit period, which we sell a lot of that. That is a really comfortable and from a benefit period standpoint, length, pretty solid right there. Now we'll go up to age 67. So Ryan could have bought a two age 67 benefit period plan, but he didn't want that. So this is a portable private plan, like I mentioned before. So he pays this premium with after-tax dollars. So anything that he has to, if he goes on claiming, we pay, it's all tax-free. So there's no taxes coming out of that. The base benefit here for a $3,000 a month benefit costs $48. Pretty reasonable. So if Ryan did nothing else but buy the base and did not want to include these other 2 riders, he would still have a fantastic plan. But I added our 2 most popular and most sold riders. The one is our guaranteed insurability option. That costs Ryan less than $1 a month. And what that allows him to do is every 2 years over a 10-year span, so 5 times, we're going to reach out to Ryan and say, hey, Ryan, you have this GIO rider on your policy for $600. You see the 600 in parentheses there. Do you want to exercise that, yes or no? Now, if you're the agent of record, we're going to let you know early that we're going to be reaching out to Ryan so you can prep Ryan. What this will allow him to do is increase that $3,000 base benefit now up to $3,600. Okay, and we'll do that again 5 times over 10 years. The beauty of it is, first of all, the option to do that costs less than $1, but there's no medical questions at all after this. So all they have to do is fill out a little fact sheet that says, yes, I'm still working, all my contact info is still the same, yada, and we're off and running. Great way for Ryan to increase his benefit with no medical underwriting down the road. And then the other one that I put on there, which is our #1 sold rider, is the return of premium. And it really can be a game changer, and it could be a heck of an advantage from a competitive standpoint if you get into that situation. I think the last number I saw, we've returned over $170 million to our customers, to our policy owners, through this return of premium rider. So it is well known in the industry, and we sell about, it's interesting stat, 46% of all of our in-force DI has return of premium, which is staggering. So that's really cool. It's just a price point, if you ask me. This will cost Ryan $20. Okay, break that down. That's a couple of Starbucks a week. So it's not a lot. And this will afford Ryan the opportunity to get 100% of his money back at age 65 or 67, because our policies go to age 67. So all in, this costs Ryan $68.32. This is less than 1% of his monthly income. Okay, less than 1%. And that is a good rule of thumb. If you don't know where to start, 1 to 3% of someone's monthly income seems to be comfortable with most people. Now, they obviously, depending on the situation, they can scale that up or scale that down, but it's a good starting point. So for less than 1% of monthly income, Ryan could have a really solid disability, private disability plan. Now, let me continue here real quick with the ROP and why it's a really cool addition. Most carriers in the industry, including ours, if you do not have something like this, like a return of premium option on your policy, when the policy's over, it's over. So that this middle column here that reads without return of premium, good way to explain this to Ryan is say, hey, Ryan, we know that this is going to cost you another $20 a month, but I want to lay this out so you understand why I think you should consider it. Okay. If you do not have the return of premium and you pay your premiums on time, you've been a great customer, you've never had to use the claim, which is fantastic. At age 67, Illinois Mutual, like every other company, is going to say, hey, Ryan, you've been an awesome customer. Good luck with the rest of your life. And the policy is done, it's terminated. Now, the narrative definitely switches if they have a return of premium. So, Ryan, you've been a great customer. Glad you never had to use this policy, which, intuitively means you've been fairly healthy your whole working life. According to our records, you've paid in about $25,000 of premium. Here's your check for 100% back. What a heck of a different narrative between, hey, good luck with the rest of your life, and here's your check for everything that you put into the policy. The only thing we ever would deduct from that is if Ryan had to go on claim, we would deduct what we paid out in the claim amount from his total. So awesome way. To me, that's a no-brainer. It all just comes down to price point. And agents or reps who sell a lot of return premium, they counseled me and told me, because I've asked them, how do you sell a lot of return premium? They always show it as an option. They don't make the decision if it's too expensive. They lay it out of the value of it and let the client do that. And a lot of times that client will understand visually that, hey, I'll get all my money back if I never use this. Yes, okay. How much more is that a month? I can swing it. Okay, so rule of thumb, always show it as an option. Okay, quick recap. Now I'll turn it back over to you guys. 1, simple works, especially in the middle market blue collar DI space. Keep it simple. A good DI solution does not have to be complicated or overly expensive. Be mindful of budgets. We already talked about that. You could be the best salesperson on the planet, but someone who makes $50,000 a year, which is still a good amount of money, they're not going to pay $500 a month for a DI plan. Okay, so you have to be aware of the points here, the stretch points. So when you do your fact finder, please, if you don't already do that, think a little harder about drilling down on their budget. Education is the key. Most people don't understand what DI is, but if you put it in language that they can relate to, like Paycheck Protection, then they're quicker to get it. And last, and this is probably the most important one, you have to ask. Okay, most people will not know to ask that unless they have seen some type of event around them, family, friends. Then all of a sudden it bubbles up to the surface. But in general, you need to ask them, hey, Bill, when's the last time, or has anyone ever talked to you about protecting your paycheck? Something very innocuous like that could open doors that you're not already there taking advantage of. Okay. One real quick sales idea to add to this, and then we'll turn it back over. I get the question. I worked really hard to get the life policy in place. I don't want to mess it up by pivoting to talk about DI, paycheck protection. Is there a good transition way to do that? My counsel on that is always, they're not going to get mad. That is our job. But keep that in mind. If you go into the doctor's office, the doctor doesn't care if you get mad. They're going to ask all kinds of questions, okay, so they can get a better picture of what's going on. So maybe a good conversation piece might be, hey, Bill, I appreciate you letting me be your agent for your life insurance needs. I've reviewed what we put into place last year, and I don't think we need to make any more changes at this point. However, while we're together, we need to take 10 more minutes and talk about protecting your paycheck. Something as very simple as that could open the doors, because if Bill's paying attention, he may say, well, what are you talking about? And then you can really get into the discussion. Okay, so use that. See if it works. I'd be interested. I would be curious what the response would be. Okay, so guys, I'm going to turn you back over to you if you want to take the screen back. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone, and I look forward to working with you, or hopefully maybe seeing you in April. Who knows?
That would be great, Jeff. Thank you. Great job. And I will say too, once you are set up, you have full access to the carrier, to Jeff. Like he mentioned earlier, he had a group where he helped an agent and jumped on and literally made most of the sale with the agent. So you can utilize him and his back office as well. So another great value add. Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. What I want to do now is talk about how to get started. You love what you just heard, and you want to get appointed and start selling these products ASAP. Everything's very simple. By the way, you're going to get an email in your inbox. You'll have it tonight before we leave. It'll say, thank you for attending our webinar, and we'll include all of the brochures and marketing material, and of course, the link to get appointed and get started. But you can also check out our homepage. If you can't wait until tonight, till our email comes in, you can check this out as soon as we hang up. Just follow those yellow arrows, and then it's very, very simple. Everything is done in layman terms, and then you'll see disability and all the marketing material, underwriting guides. You'll find Illinois Mutual, and then, of course, their brochures are inside as well, just to help you and keep everything streamlined. Let's keep moving forward. So what I want to do next is, now you have these great sales ideas, right? You know some basics with the product, and especially the ROP option, I think is huge. And like what Jeff mentioned, show both sides. Show that, hey, the premium is $200 a month without ROP, and it's $280 with ROP. Typically, he's right. The customer says, wow, I didn't realize I get all my money back if I don't get disabled. Yes. Wow, you know what? I'll spring for this. Meanwhile, you just made a bigger commission. And think about the renewals attached to disability. So we pass through all of the renewals to our agents. Okay, so you're talking about, depending on the product, anywhere from 5 to 20% every single year, typically for 10 years or more. Okay, so you're building an annuity stream, right? That will help supplement retirement income if you have enough of these policies on the books. So as an agent, right, you have to think like this. And, I was thinking about what Jeff said. The agent says, oh, I already sold the big life policy and I don't want to go back in and interrupt that and, bring up DI. Well, look at the other side of the coin, right? Let's say that same client, right, where you did not bring up disability income, gets disabled a year later, and you get the phone call, right, to say, oh my gosh, I can't pay for my life insurance premium now because I got disabled. And by the way, Bill, I saw in your signature, it says life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness insurance. Why did you not bring up disability insurance to me? Right? So you got to look at the other side of it as well. So there's two parts to that. Number one, you need to bring it up with every single consumer you speak to. Number two, you're keeping that life insurance policy in force by providing a disability income protection policy, right? In case the breadwinner is disabled. So you have to think like that. And yes, you can add riders, right? We have life products with disability income riders. We have life products with waiver of premium. So there's a few ways to look at it, but in my opinion, the best way, especially for middle America, is a separate life insurance policy and then a separate disability income policy. Then I would also talk about heart attack, cancer, stroke as well, right? Why not? And think about this. The other agent, that's the young hotshot agent right out of high school or college that is marketing all over social media, and they have ads running on Facebook and Instagram and all the above. Okay? You just sold a life policy. This young hotshot agent is marketing in front of your consumer, and they're putting the word out that, hey, I'm the go-to for critical illness and disability income protection and life insurance. And now your client calls them. Not only do they get the DI sale and the critical illness sale, and they also just replaced your life insurance sale. So again, you have to think like this moving forward. It's a new world now with the internet, right? I feel like everybody now, especially the younger generation, they're online, they're searching. They want to know who's the guru in South Florida that I can reach out to, right? It's a different world when, 10, 15, 20 years ago, basically whatever you told them was fine as long as they trusted you, then you were good. Now, yeah, they're going to trust you, but they're also going to verify with Google, as you know. So why not offer the most important products, right? And you're doing your part as the agent. So anyway, it's very important. We put together a quick DI sales ideas and sellers guide that you can access on our website. We'll also include this in the thank you email, but these are a bunch of different strategies. And this is also a list of questions to ask, marketing material, things that you need to think about as an agent to make more DI sales, period. Okay, very important. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, and I got about 3 to 5 minutes left here, and we'll get you at it. So real fast, Insure Me Now Direct. Again, this is a no-brainer. Okay, I don't care if we're talking about DI, CI, accidental death, term life for $2 million, whatever it is. You need to have this up and running. And like I mentioned, think of that younger generation. They're all over social media and they're Googling everything. Okay, they want to do business like this. I promise you. Okay. In most cases, I talk to agents for the smaller policies. They don't even want to speak to you. They want to do everything through email and through a link, and they want the policy sent through email in real time, and they can save it to their desktop. And this is the new world. Okay. So you have to be able to pivot and be ready to meet someone at Starbucks at 8:15 a.m. on a Tuesday, or you need to have a website that they can land on at 2 a.m., right? If that's the way they want to do business. You got to pivot and you have to be accessible to whatever fashion or way that consumer wants to work with you, period. So you need to have this up and running, and it's complimentary. So there's no reason to not have this. The latest carrier is Manhattan Life. You'll see a few products by year end. So that's going to be awesome. And then we have a new carrier we're working on for 2024. Let's keep moving. I'm going to go fast because we're running out of time. So real fast, this is Revenue Accelerator. This is awesome. So think of any life insurance agency, P&C agency, health insurance agency. Think of financial institutions, banks, mortgage companies, all the above. Okay? They have a huge book of business. Okay? Just think about this. How can they market supplemental insurance products and life insurance products to their existing book of business? Well, this is a turnkey kit that is going to reach out to every single consumer for that specific company or agency to say, hey, this is why you need term life insurance. This is why you need DI, CI, accidental death. This is why you need DI with ROP. This is why you need a guaranteed issue whole life plan for children and a free scholarship. It's going to reach out to everyone through email. You can even set up the auto texting, dialers. We have scripts for the CSR reps. It is all built for you. And we have a specialized section just for DI sales and a bunch of charts. So it's really, really cool. And again, it's complimentary for Levinson agents. It works hand in hand with Insure Me Now Direct. Let's keep moving forward. This is a list of DI door openers and conversation starters. Again, we'll include this in the thank you email. The next slide here is the famous MUG plan from Illinois Mutual. And it's very, very simple. Check out the stats there in the gray box. Okay, those are huge, huge numbers. And that's DI with return of premium. Okay, what I love about the MUG, it's such a simple concept. When you're speaking to the consumer, the prospect, and you talk about, hey, is your mug filled? And what consists of the liquid in your mug? Well, it's mortgage, utilities, groceries, totals, $4,892. Okay, if you were to get disabled, how are you going to pay for that? That's where your DI plan comes in. Costs you $82 a month. Boom, you're in. You just made a new sale. That's the MUG plan. We'll also include this door opener in the thank you email tonight. Now, as promised, these are our sample social media posts that talk about DI coverage. Again, very simple, but these have the most likes, comments. So look how simple. This is, I guess, my biggest point here. Again, not rocket science. Left-hand side, I don't need DI insurance because I have it through work. Okay, that's where you come in. Remember what Jeff mentioned earlier? Okay, most people don't know. They have no idea. Well, you're going to give them an idea. Middle section, if you rely on your paycheck, it's smart to protect it with DI insurance. Right-hand side, 1 of 4 of today's 20-year-olds will become disabled at some point in their career. That's where you come in, right? Superman, Superwoman. Here's your DI quote. Done. Move on to the next consumer. Let's keep moving on. New year, new mindset, new goals. By now, okay, or hopefully in the next week or two, you have your plan in place, right? You got to grow. We all know there's no staying in the same spot as you did in 2023. You got to grow your business. I don't care what you're focusing on, what your niche is, how much business you did in 23. You want to increase it in 24. And these are some great bullets, some different ways, right? So I'm going to touch on some of these things. And again, we're going to include this as well. But real fast, the IUL space, those are the go-tos, okay, going into the new year. The whole life space, okay. When you run across a consumer and they talk about some of these career companies, which we all know, okay, the commissions, the product, the dividends, typically cash value with Lafayette Life, Mutual Trust Life, they're as good, if not better. Okay, so you got to start having our marketers quote these other whole life products for you. LTC with standalone product by NGL, awesome. Okay, people think LTC is gone. No, it's not. People need it more now than ever. The term and GUL space, Pac Life, is shining right now. Commissions, service, okay, premium, awesome. They have that GUL with ROP. Speaking of ROP, annuities, there's never been a better time, period. I don't think I have to tell you that. Call any one of our annuity marketers. We'll get you some quotes, product info, education, whatever you need. We also have our 101 series, our training platform that's free. Life settlements, obviously, we know what that is. Anyone typically that's in their, I'd say 65 and older, the more health issues, the better, right, for you and for them as far as a payout. But don't let those policies expire. Don't let them go away. Come in with a quote and obviously a new sale, a new client for a life settlement case. Let's keep moving. So the podcast, another great training tool. Now, this is our latest carrier, Manhattan Life. I sat down with the Standard Life president, which is also made up of Manhattan Life, Todd and Kemp, our RVP. This was a great interview we rolled out last week. Check that out when you can. We're also going to include the podcast I did called I Love DI. So you'll have 2 different episodes in the thank you email. And then I'm done here, by the way, in about 30 seconds. This is our future training slide. So what I want to talk about is we have another webinar tomorrow at 3 p.m. Securium Life, Minnesota Life is back. We are relaunching their IUL term hybrid. Speaking of LTC, they have a great hybrid. Also, non-med platform, a great underwriting platform we're going to speak about as well. And then, of course, you can see Columbus Life. And then we have our Q4 annuity training with Coach Chris. That's another big one. And then the Annuity 101 training platform. We're rolling out the Part 2 version. It's complimentary. It's a really cool platform that you can leverage as a Levinson agent for free. Okay, so you definitely got to be on those. My last slide, and we'll button this up for the day. And I'm going to just real fast mention my quote of the week, my Positive Tuesday quote. Take pride in where you are today and have faith in where you will be tomorrow. The sky is the limit. And boy, is that true. We know how that works, right? It's just a matter of how far you're willing to push that gas pedal down. That's it. If you're willing to do whatever it takes, go above and beyond, right? Slowly but surely, you're going to grow on a personal side, on the business side, right? The promises you make to yourself, you got to fulfill those. Okay, don't let yourself down. Okay, you want to build your confidence. You want to keep that gas pedal mashed to the floor. We're here to help you every step of the way. Okay, because we're going through it as well. We're growing, right? We have very similar challenges, so we can relate. We're here to hold your hand. Okay, and we're constantly going to come out with these great trainings to make sure that you have everything you need to go out on the road and be dangerous, so to speak. My question of the day, real fast, I spoke about our top disability carriers that Levinson offers. They're all direct IMO contracts. My question is, how many DI carriers do we offer to our agents? You tell me the magic number, you win. Fire tablet, prospecting books on us. Andrew's going to see who answered first and who was correct. We'll announce your name right now. Andrew, who was our winner today?
Okay, first correct answer is Nawab P. Nawab P.
Nawab P. The answer was 11. 11 direct IMO contracts for the disability side. We will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great day, great selling, and keep your eyes peeled for our thank you email containing all of the info we went over today. Thank you again, everyone.